I know that YouTube is never gonna be a primary income for me. I'm not doing this for income. That's what other people do this for. But the overwhelming majority of people, I understand business. I understand how business actually works. If you look into how much YouTube actually pays per view for whatever type of content you're thinking of getting into, it's a very slim chance that you're gonna make enough money to be like really doing well. You might be able to support yourself. You might be able to pay your bills. You could get to that point. But if you're not converting viewers into customers, which is the only real way to make money, then you're not ever gonna make money. And I will never sell a course. The only way I would actually sell a course is if I truly and really felt and believed that the course would offer some sort of positive and lasting impact into the people's lives that I was offering it to. And because it wouldn't be for money. This is never gonna be my primary set of income because no matter how big it gets, because I recognize this is not a good place to make an income. I do other things for money. I don't need to do this for money. So before I get into why it is that I don't personally ever ask for subscribers, I want to illustrate where the thought process comes from. And I'm going to use a story that was once explained to me quite a long time ago, or at least a concept rather. And it's that the overwhelming majority of people fall into just three basic categories, and that's wolves, sheepdogs, and sheep. Now, before I get into that though, I do want to address something before I forget. If you've ever watched any of our videos till the end, including this one, you will see the flash of an image that says to subscribe. I want to make it clear, that is not me, that is my editor. And I don't mind that it's there, I'm just saying that you don't hear, this is the reason why you don't hear me ever personally ask for subscribers. So the way that this woman described it to me is that the majority of the planet can be, population of people can be broken into three categories. And I'm gonna say it's 85, 10, and 5. I truly think that this is correct. And it's that 85% of the world is sheep. We all know this. Almost everybody will agree with that. Everybody will agree with that. The problem is most people will try to act like they're not part of the 85%. 85% of the world's population are sheep. I think that 10% of the world's population are wolves. It's not a high number, but it's more than enough to cause damage. And I would say that only 5% of the world are actual sheepdogs. Now, to make sure that this is understood correctly, I want to make it clear that it is my opinion, and I believe this to be correct, that it is very rare for sheepdogs, natural-born people who are considered sheepdogs, is rare. It's rare to be born a natural-born sheepdog mentality. I think that the overwhelming majority of people who are sheepdogs became sheepdogs because they are evolved from the wolf. They evolved from the wolf lifestyle. So at some point in time, they either grew up, changed perspective, calmed down, whatever, something dramatic probably happened that caused them to have a paradigm shift. They realized that they either wanted or could do better and then decided to do better and change themselves and became sheepdogs. So I think natural born sheepdogs, that mentality is actually pretty rare. Just like the Sigma crap that I hear all the time. Sigmas would actually be very rare. When I looked into what the initial original meaning of a Sigma was, not all this shit that it's turned into now, how they're all super secret double agent, 007 strategically minded, would win any chess battle. Life is, they could take over the world if they just thought about it and all this other bullshit. But the original meaning of what a Sigma was. When I read it, I was like, okay, now I belong to a bunch of different hierarchies in my life. I've sold drugs, been in a gang, all kinds of hierarchies. And I've only ever met two people that I would say actually qualify for being a Sigma. And we'll basically boil that down into having all the leaderships of an actual leader, all the qualities rather of an actual leader, but except for the one of being extroverted, they're usually more introverted. Now, the other part of that is they still did whatever the alpha said, just so you're aware. They just either had more questions or less questions. That was the only difference between them. But I would say that I've only ever met two out of a very long time in my life of being a part of many different hierarchies. I've only ever met two. Just like, so that's rare. And it's very similar to all these people who think that they're either sheepdogs or Sigmas, that like women, right? Any guy, all these guys are narcissists. Narcissism is actually very rare. So it's just that a guy that they can't control and the guy that has boundaries and know his value and his worth, that's a narcissist to them. Just like at one point in time, I had to be tested for psychopathy. They were very sure that I was a psychopath. Psychopaths are also extremely rare. 20 years, basically 2 decades in the streets and 2 decades in prison on top of that. And I've only ever personally met 2 people that fit into the actual realm of being a psychopath. And I'm sure they were psychopaths, but I've only ever met 2. Basically 4 decades of living a antisocial life, and I've only ever met 2. So these things are all very rare, but a lot of people who are actually just sheep will like to think of themselves as sheepdogs. Even cops. Most cops have a brutal streak. This is a very well-known fact. This is why they go into being a cop. They go into an industry that they think and they believe that it gives them the authority to be the authority. That is why when they say, you get all these videos when they're like, well, whatever I say is the law. They say that in one form or fashion or another. In one roundabout way or another, they think that whatever they say is the law. Them being present is the law. Not that they have to obey the laws and enforce the laws, that they are the law. So even cops, most cops are actually not sheepdogs. They have a brutal streak, and they go into the industry that they think gives them the authority to be the authority. They have control and power and control issues. That's why they go into being cops. So being a sheepdog is actually very rare. Now, obviously, being a wolf is going to be doing things that the overwhelming people that are sheep consider to be either immoral, the wrong way to live, just antisocial lifestyle. So how does any of this relate to me not asking for subscribers? My message is not for the sheep. I've never been a sheep. I can't give you advice about being a sheep. I don't even know if there is I don't even know if there is advice on how to be a better member of the sheep community. I don't think that there is. But whether there is or isn't, I can't give you that advice. I don't know nothing about it. My advice is for people that are in the other 15%. So the number one people that my advice is for, is the people that grew up either with the same kind of mindset that I did. They either have that killer instinct or they want to have that killer instinct. They want to be successful. They want to be good. They want to chase excellence. They want to change their life. They want more out of life in some way. Now, a lot of times that does end for us living what I called, like I said, an antisocial life. I'm not saying that it has to go that route. It just goes that route often, especially in the environments that I'm from. Now, like I said, I think that the majority of people that become sheepdogs is because they grew up in some way and changed their life from being a wolf. So you have a paradigm shift. Something takes place that causes you to realize that you either want to do better or you can do better or you should be doing better. Just something causes this paradigm shift and you decide to change your life. Now, when you become a sheepdog, what makes you an effective sheepdog and able to protect the sheep is that you have the abilities to be a wolf if need be. You can impose violence upon other people if need be. Now, the reason why you have a lot of people that are actually sheep, but they'll try to say that they're sheepdogs, but they're not, because a sheepdog will physically put themselves in danger in order to protect people that they don't even fucking know. And the overwhelming majority of you would not do that. In prison, the overwhelming majority of you people are one slap away from being gay. That literally happens. People will get slapped one time, do nothing to defend themselves, and immediately get bent over and have their manhood taken. This is a regular occurrence. They weren't even able to fight back from a slap and didn't do anything to stop what took place immediately after the slap. The overwhelming majority of you fall into that category. That is the truth. I don't care what any of you say. I would do this, but you've never been in any position that would cause you to have to act in the face of fear. You've never learned the skills or the talents to be able to defend yourself in a dangerous situation. Yet you're gonna be Superman when the time comes. Not fucking likely. So the overwhelming majority of people that are sheep would like to think of themselves as being a sheepdog when they won't even protect themselves. They're damn sure not gonna protect other people. The overwhelming majority of people who are sheep, that's why they try to say that they're sigmas. Oh, I'm on the outside because of this. No, you're just a bitch. You're just a pussy. That's all there is to it. You're just a sheep that likes to hide behind this other stuff. My message is for those individuals that want that kill, they have that killer instinct or want that killer instinct. They want more out of life in some way, even if it's going the wrong way. That leads me to my second reason for my content, for what I am trying to give back to. The second group of people that my message is for people that have messed up their life. It's for people that have gone the way of the wolf. You've lived your life in a way that is definitely considered inappropriate and an inappropriate way to engage with the sheep community. So you've done a lot of things that they consider bad and probably most likely even you consider bad. Now I want you, if you're in that category, to understand it doesn't matter how bad you've messed up your life. It doesn't matter how long you've messed up your life. You have the ability to change. You have the ability to make a better life for yourself. You have the ability to either you can become a sheepdog, which is the natural progression, or you can just at least stop behaving in the way that you've been behaving for most of your life. If you choose to join the sheep community, that's up to you. That's your thing. But my point is, no matter how long I have, 20 years in the streets for the most part and 20 years in prison, close enough to 20 years in prison, and you've most likely not messed up your life as bad as I have. Regardless of how long you've done in prison, regardless of how many felonies you have, most likely you've not committed the crimes that I have. Most likely you've not been convicted of those same crimes. So, regardless of how bad you've messed up your life, you always have that ability to turn around. Now you have the ability higher than anyone who's a sheep because you've already been willing to take the risks that are necessary to get yourself further in life. Now, sometimes you have to deal with things such as substance abuse and stuff like that, which makes things a little bit different and a little bit harder. But regardless of any of those things, I'm telling you right now, you have the ability to change your life. And I want to give back to those people. I want you to understand that no matter how bad you've messed up your life, you've most likely not messed it up as bad as I messed up mine. And I was able to change my life and make a good, I've been doing very well in life since then. And I just want to make sure that I give back to those people. So my message is for individuals who have the killer instinct and individuals who've already gone down the wrong road, but want to turn it around the other way and go the other direction. And the last group of people that my message is for the people that have the ability, they have the killer instinct or they want the killer instinct, and they either are just starting to go down the wrong road or there's a possibility they could go down the wrong road. My message is already going to resonate to these three groups of people, so that you don't have, the third group of people is my message is so you don't have to go down that road. You don't have to go down the way of the wolf. You don't have to live a selfish life. You don't have to live a violent life. You have to learn violence. You have to learn it. I guarantee you have to learn to impose violence when necessary. But you don't have to become a person who imposes violence to get his way. Those are two different things. So my message is only going to resonate with a very small percentage of individuals that watch my videos. Very small percentage of individuals. That is why I never ask for subscribers. I know people that are still out in the lanes. The people that I know that are still out in the lanes, they're not on fucking YouTube. They're not on social media. They're even social media, if they even have it, and a lot of them don't have it because they're living a very different lifestyle. If they even have it, it's somebody set it up for them and it looks like mine. If you guys ever find my personal social media, there's nothing on it because I don't live that kind of lifestyle. That's not where my life has always been. You guys are living a very different lifestyle. You guys want to post everything that you're doing. We would never do that because the stuff that we're doing could lead us to getting in trouble. So when you live in the lanes, you don't have a social media to tell on yourself. That would be fucking stupid. My point is for every 50 people that watch my videos, I'm only talking to maybe 3 or 4 of you. Only 3 or 4 of you are understanding the things that I'm talking about. Now, if you've been watching me since the beginning that we started this journey, even before we were Inner Beast, when we were the sauce and the juice, then you've witnessed that I've only been getting better at letting you see who I actually am on this side of the camera. You'd be surprised. Getting in front of the camera is very strange. It makes you feel like you have to like let go of this this media training that you don't even have. You just you naturally feel like you have to present yourself as different who you are. So I'm only going to get better at giving my presentations and letting you guys see who I am. So my message my message isn't going to change. My message is only going to be for that few individuals. Do you have the killer instinct? Do you want more from life? Do you want that killer instinct? Do you want to succeed and chase excellence in life? My message will be for you. Have you already gone the direction of ruining your life? But you want different, you want better, then my message is for you. And if there's a possibility that you are in the beginning of both, if you have the killer instinct or want the killer instinct, but there's a possibility you could go the wrong way in life, then you can listen to the things that I have to say and recognize that you don't have to go that route. You can skip straight to being either, quote, a sheepdog or just living a neutral lifestyle that's only about chasing excellence and for yourself. So my message isn't for everybody. So I never ask for subscribers. And the reason why I bring this up is because people keep telling me, man, you should ask for subscribers. You should ask for subscribers. Why don't you ever ask for people to subscribe? There should be a call to action. And that's a constant thread, right? That really is. Even many of the overwhelming majority of the individuals who are very successful on YouTube, because I do check other people's stuff randomly just to see how other people are doing things, so I can get a concept of how this thing actually works. And even many of the very, very, very successful ones still also ask for people to subscribe. Hey, if you've made it this far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel, this, and this. But I know the truth is my message is for a very small percentage of you. My message is not for everybody. My message is not for the 85% of the people that are just sheep. And the overwhelming majority of people who are on YouTube are just sheep, because people that are wolves or sheepdogs are already moving towards excellence. Very few of you who are already moving towards excellence are actually consumers. The only ones of you that are consumers and that I'm going to be able to talk to that I'm going to have any impact on are individuals that may be sheep but do want more. If you want more, you're in the right place. If you've gone the wrong way in life but want to change your life, you're in the right place. If you want to identify with somebody who's gone through the same things as you, who has always wanted more out of life, went the wrong way, changed their life, and is now quote unquote a sheepdog in that lifestyle, then you're in the right place. But for the rest of you that are just sheep, you're never going to understand the things that I'm talking about. For those of you that want to pretend like you're sheepdogs, want to pretend like you're sigmas, you're never going to understand what I'm talking about because you're just sheep. And I don't know how to give advice to sheep. I can give you a very clear example for me, right? When I had a job, when I got out of prison, I had to have a job. So I went and got a job. Now, for me personally, having a job was demeaning. Man, I felt diminished by having to have a job. Now, plenty of you who are sheep will have plenty of stuff to say about you couldn't hack it in the real world, and so whatever the case, whatever your argument is, I don't care. Sheep and wolves will never understand one another. So for me though, it was demeaning to have a job. I felt diminished. I felt less than because I had to live a life where somebody else was telling me what to do. I would never purposely choose the slave lifestyle, but the overwhelming majority of you purposely choose the slave lifestyle. You'd rather work for someone else because there's some level of security in it. And when you do things on your own, the security is not there. So even though you're not treated well and you're not paid enough, you'll still stay in the slave lifestyle so that you can have that level of stability. And especially if you're a person who just wants to work for his 8, 10, 12 hours, whatever it is, clock out, go home, scroll, and have a couple of beers. That's all you want, right? So we're never going to understand one another. I would rather live my life under my own personal, I'd rather be independent and independently doing my own thing. And if it doesn't go well, I deal with the consequences of it not going well. I would rather deal with the ups and downs of the independent lifestyle than have to be someone else's slave. For those of you that purposely choose to be someone's slave because it has a level of stability to it, we're never going to understand one another. That is a very good example. I felt less than. I felt like I felt diminished by having a job, by having something where other people had the ability and the right to tell me what to do because they gave me a couple of dollars an hour. That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't fucking compute in my brain. But for the overwhelming majority of you, that computes very fucking well. We are not the same. I'm never going to be able to give you information or advice on things that you're going to understand because you're purposely a slave. And I would never choose to be a slave for any time longer than when it's absolutely necessary to get myself from point A to point B. That's a good example of it. We're never going to understand one another. So my message is actually for very few of you. If you want more out of life, if you want to chase excellence, my message will be for you. If you've gone down the wrong path in life, but would like to fix your life, my message is gonna appeal to you. If you have already been that, if you've already wanted more and you went the wrong way and you've been changing your life, my message is gonna appeal to you. For the rest of you, you're never gonna understand me, so I don't ask for subscribers. I just wanted to clear that up because everybody keeps asking me why I don't ask for subscribers. The overwhelming majority of you are not my demographic. Why would I ask you to subscribe when I know you don't understand any of the stuff that I'm talking about?